Well, our Prime Minister Stephen Harper is on an airplane back to Canada as we speak. Our Premier Brad Wall also flying back to Saskatchewan from Singapore today. The two were on separate trips to various Asian countries over the past week. Why is there so much focus on this part of the world? We're hoping Kazi Rao can enlighten us. He is the Vice President in Toronto for the Asia Pacific Foundation of Canada, joining us from Toronto. Nice to talk to you today.
Thank you.
Now, Cassie, obviously we know that Asia is an economic powerhouse, but what is the appeal of it really right now?
I think, quite simply put, the center of gravity is moving from, if you will, the Atlantic to the Pacific. And I think for us as a trading nation, it is particularly important that we pay attention to what's happening in that part of the world.
Now, Kazi, I read a poll by your organization that says Canadians are less supportive of pursuing closer economic ties with Asia. Why do you think that is?
I think there is a sense that we need to have a much deeper understanding of the nature of Asia's rise. So on one hand, a number of Canadians across Canada recognize the importance of Asia, the rise of various Asian countries, but on the other, still trying to get a handle on what does the nature of this rise mean vis-a-vis our interests.
Now, Canada obviously has done well with travel arrangements. I know there was improvements made on this trip by Prime Minister Harper. Visas seem to be working well, but what, in your opinion, really needs to change in terms of more correspondence or communication between these regions?
I think three things. Number one, as important as political visits are, and I think it's deeply important, the visit by our Prime Minister, by Premier Wall, these are very important, and we must ensure that this level of high-level engagement continues. Second, however, we need to take it from purely ministerial, prime ministerial visits to moving from the why to the how. And I think there a recognition that our economic future lies with a large part of Asia is important to do. And finally, I think beyond trade and investment, a deeper engagement by our higher education institutions and people-to-people contact will make a difference in the coming years.
Now, Kazi, our Premier Brad Wall was in Japan, Philippines, Singapore. He's on his way back now. How can Saskatchewan, a province, I guess, benefit that may be different than the whole national picture?
I think Saskatchewan is in a unique position and indeed is doing path-breaking work in this regard. You only have to look at the trade data with any number of Asian countries, be it China, be it India, and indeed other countries less recognized in our part of the world, that is Philippines, Indonesia. Saskatchewan is leading the way, and I think the important thing here is Saskatchewan is seen as one of the few subnational jurisdictions in the world that is deeply responsive to the Asian agenda, particularly as it relates to food security and energy security. Our challenge, however, is to, I think, convince many Asian countries that we're not just about food and energy, but indeed about related technology and other strengths that we bring to bear. And I think in this regard, Saskatchewan can lead the way, not just within Western Canada, but indeed in all of Canada.
Excellent. Kazi, we appreciate your thoughts this morning, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Kazi Rao from the Asia Pacific Foundation of Canada.